When Donald Trump announces more tariffs on China, the S&P and the stock market fell like 2% just today. That is like a big number. Analysts think that the pressure tactic by Beijing is sort of like we're coming to the negotiation, but we are not coming weak. And if that is the plan, it might have backfired because scaring USA into concessions, it infuriates Donald Trump, and he's storming off and he's pissed off, and Donald Trump is like, what is China doing? So where does that leave the rest of the world on, I guess, the scale of alertness is like really high right now, and other countries are basically caught in the crossfire, and many governments, especially in Asia and Europe, have strong ties with both US and China, and that is economic ties and political ties, and suddenly they might be forced to choose one side or scramble for the alternative. Plus, many of them depend on the rare supplies that China gives. And in fact, Trump said countries had already reached out to him extremely angry about China's trade hostilities. Moves from both China and Russia just add more cost and complexity to the global trade network that's already under a lot of strain. And it hurts the exporters, producers, consumers alike, and at a time when global trade is already under pressure. It's like adding weight onto a bridge that already was teetering and was about to fall off, and China just gave it another push. Trump seemed almost personally offended that Chinese move stole the thunder from the Middle East peace announcement. Whether China timed it that way intentionally is like anyone's guess, but perhaps it was no coincidence, or perhaps Beijing doesn't care much about the optics of the Middle East peace versus trade policy, but from Trump's viewpoint, it was a sore note on what should have been his big triumph as a peacemaker. And also, Trump today, it's announced that some woman from Venezuela won the Nobel Peace Prize. Poor Trump, he struggled so hard for this Nobel Peace Prize, and they just give it to like a politician in Venezuela.